a $80 billion dream dead. Microsoft just realized they funded their own competition. An AI that does your job while you sleep. 7 days, 12 stories, 0 chill. Welcome to the most insane week in AI history. Let's go. If you blinked this week, you missed 5 different tech earthquakes. Let's start with one of the most expensive failures in corporate history. Mark Zuckerberg, a man who renamed his entire company Meta, just shut down Horizon Worlds. The flagship Metaverse product, gone, deleted from the Quest store by end of March. Here's the number that should make you sit down. $80 billion lost. That's the total hit to Reality Labs since 2021. In 2025 alone, they burned through $19 billion. And at peak popularity, Horizon Worlds had just 300,000 monthly users, which then collapsed to fewer than 900 daily active users by 2024. 900! For a project that cost more than the GDP of small countries. The kicker? Meta's stock went up when news of the shutdown leaked. Investors had been begging him to stop for years. And now, Zuckerberg is pivoting to AI. This one is a soap opera. Microsoft invested over $13 billion in OpenAI. In return, they got exclusive rights. All of OpenAI's AI runs through Microsoft's Azure cloud. That was the deal. Then Sam Altman turned around and signed a $50 billion agreement making Amazon Web Services the exclusive cloud provider for OpenAI's new enterprise platform, Frontier. Amazon's total commitment? Up to $110 billion. Microsoft found out. And they were furious. Their response, and this is a real quote reported by the Financial Times, was, "We know our contract. We will sue them if they breach it." Microsoft literally funded their own competition, accidentally, in the most spectacular way possible. No lawsuit has been filed yet. Talks are still ongoing. But the relationship is broken. Microsoft is now building its own AI models, and they've already started offering Claude inside Office 365 as backup. The divorce is happening in slow motion. Talking about Claude, Anthropic just launched Claude Dispatch, a feature that lets you text orders to your AI from your phone and have it execute complex tasks on your desktop computer while you're away. It integrates with Gmail, Slack, Google Calendar, local files, and it runs in a sandboxed environment so Claude won't accidentally delete your entire hard drive. It'll even pause and send you a notification before doing anything destructive. They released it on March 17th, beating OpenAI to market with a similar product people had been calling OpenClaw. X had a busy week. First, the dislike button. After years of testing and teasing, X's head of product Nikita Beer literally went on the platform. Someone asked for it, and he replied, "Give me 60 seconds." 8 minutes later, it was live, rolling out now to subscribers and verified accounts, appearing as a broken heart icon on replies only, feeding into the ranking algorithm, privately, no public count. But here's the other thing that dropped almost unnoticed. X also rolled out a filter by region feature for replies, meaning accounts could selectively show or mute replies from specific countries. So in the same week, a dislike button and a geopolitical mute button. YouTube has an AI slop problem. They know it, they admitted it. Their own CEO called it out in January, noting that 1 in 5 shorts shown to new users is low-quality, mass-produced AI garbage. Their solution this week? They started showing users a pop-up asking, "Does this feel like AI slop?" You rate it on a scale from not at all to extremely. Sounds great, right? Cleaning up the platform? Sure, but here's what people immediately noticed. YouTube is owned by Google. Google makes Veo, their AI video generator. And now 2 billion users are labeling exactly which videos look fake and which don't. That's the world's largest AI training dataset. For free. Built by us. You're not fighting AI slop. You're teaching Google how to make better AI slop that you can't detect. Apple quietly blocked updates for vibe coding apps like Replit and Vibecode, tools that let non-coders build apps with AI by just describing what they want. Apple's reason? These apps let users run code that bypasses the App Store review process, which also happens to bypass Apple's 30% commission. Coincidence? Definitely not. The irony? Apple literally just added Anthropic's Claude and OpenAI's Codex to Xcode, their own developer tool. Vibe coding is fine when Apple controls the environment, not when you do it yourself. XAI, Elon Musk's AI company, is recruiting Wall Street bankers, portfolio managers, and credit analysts to join their team, paying them up to $100 an hour to teach Grok how to think like a Wall Street banker. The job listing literally says, use your expertise in leveraged loan syndication, distressed investing, and complex bond structures to train the AI system. They are paying bankers to teach AI, to replace bankers. And the bankers are saying yes, because $100 an hour is good money, even if it's funding your own replacement. This is the most poetic moment in the history of the AI economy. All of this, and we're only in March. If this week is any indication, the next few months are going to be absolutely unhinged. Tell me, what do you think in the comments below?